Round numbers are used to find an appropriate answer to a sum, difference, product, or quotient. Okay, so if we're talking about round numbers, we're looking at the answers that we get from using basic operations like addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. Then we round off that answers to whole numbers. Now, if you look at this, you will see that these are written in multiples of tens. Okay, they are written in multiples of tens. It means that this particular set of numbers, they are round off in nearest tens. Okay, so this one also, they are round off in nearest 100. That's why you see that these are written in multiples of 100, 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. Also, this particular one, we have it written in the multiples of thousands. That is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, and 6,000. Now we can say this is rounded off in the nearest, to the nearest 1,000. This is rounded off. Okay, this is rounded off to the nearest 1,000. This is rounded off to the nearest 100. Okay, so you can say this rounded off to the nearest 100. All right, so let's look at certain examples. For example, we are told to round off, we're told to write these numbers to the nearest 100. Let's say we are given 283 to write to the nearest 100. Now, hundreds have 3 digits. Hundreds have 3 digits. So 1, 2, 3. Now, this is the place we're actually going. This place is where the hundreds is. Okay, you can have 200, you can have 300, you can have 400, and all that. Okay, so we have 283. Now, this is the number we are going, and mind you, this 8 is more than 5. If the number that is here is more than 5, then you convert it to 1. So that means any number from 5, 6, 8, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 can be converted to 1 and add to this particular number. Any number next to this is where the 100 is. Any number that is next here and here, can be converted to 1, or otherwise you convert it to 0. Can be converted to 1. If it's 4, then it's converted to 0. If it's 3, between 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can convert to 0. Let me write that one. 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can convert to 0. While from 5 to 9, that is 5, 7, 9, can be converted to 1. Now let's go. This particular one is 3. Okay, it can be converted to 0. This particular one is 8. It can be converted to 1 and add to this. So if you convert this to 1, okay, it's going to remain 0. Then the 1 is now going to be added to this, now going to be 300. So that means 283, if you convert 283 to the nearest 100, is actually 300. And also, if you look at our counting, once you're able to, once you're counting 250, 260, 270, 71, 73, 283 is actually very, very close to 300. This is close to 300, than 200, because here you can actually either round this off to a whole number, to 200, which is also a whole number, or 300. That is the two ways to round that off to the nearest 100. Okay, but because this particular 83 is very, very close to is very, very close to 100 than even 10. Okay, let me do that again. Now, this particular one, this particular 283, we can also say that this 283 is like 200 plus 83. All right, so this particular one, this 200 is already in, it has already been converted to the nearest 100, which is 200, right? So this particular 83, the nearest 100 is 100. Okay, 83 is close to 100. So if you add this 200, then plus 100 is going to give you 300. All right, so if you look at another example, let's say we are given 326. Okay, 326, we're to convert to the nearest 100. So 326 to the nearest 100. I can also say that 326 is like 300, okay, plus 26. Okay, so this is already in the nearest 100. That's 300. But this 26 is in tens. Okay, this cannot be converted to 100. This does not, this particular 26 does not, is not in any way very close to 100, like maybe the 86, that we did the other time. Okay, because this particular 26 is not closer to 100, then this 26 is turned 0. It's nothing. So the 326 to the nearest 100 is going to give us 300. Now, if you do it the other way that I said the other time, 326, just count from here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is where we are going. All right. So now, like I said, it's 6. If it's more than 5, you convert to 1. So if you convert this one to 1, and it's going to give you, it's going to remain 0 when you convert to 1. Then you add to this. When it comes here, this one becomes 3. Now, this 3, if you convert it, okay, because it's less than 5, then it's going to become 0. That one, you just change it to 0 immediately, and this 3 remains. Okay, so it's still the same thing. That is 300. Now, if we're to convert, let's look at doing examples in thousands. Let us write each this. Let's write this in the nearest thousand. Okay, nearest thousand. For example, 17, okay, 1763. Okay, I want to write in thousands. So let us just, thousand is in 4 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where we are going. All right. So let us look at it again, like what I discussed. This three is not up to 5. So we'll convert to 0. This particular 6 is more than 5. That's, so we can convert to 1, then replace with 0. This one we add to this place. That is 8. Okay. Now this 8 also is a number, more than 5, up to 5 or more than 5. So we convert it to 1. So we'll put 0 here. Then we'll add that 1 to this particular one. It's going to give us 2. All right. So this particular number to the nearest thousand is 2000. Okay. Let me look at another example. Okay. Let's convert, okay, 4,436 to the nearest thousand. Okay, like I said, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where we are going. Okay, then we look at all these numbers. 6 is more than, I said any number from 5 upward, will convert to 1. So this one will convert to 1, then we replace with 0. Then that one we add to this. So this one becomes 4. This one, when it goes there, becomes 4. So this 4 also is not up to 5, so we just convert to 0 directly. Okay, now this particular 4 is also not up to 5, we convert to 0 directly. Then we write our 4. We're not doing anything to our 4, we just write our 4. And that means 4,436 to the nearest thousand is 4,000. Alright, so if you look at the nearest 10, example, let's say we were to convert 49 to the nearest 10. Okay, let's say we were to convert 49 to the nearest 10. Okay, so we say that let's look at it now. Okay, well, to count, say 10 is 2 digits, so 1, 2. So this is where we are going. Okay, so now this particular number is number that is between 5 and 9. So 9 is between 5 and 9. So we convert this to 1. So this one becomes 0. Then convert to 1. Then we add to this. Then so the 49 to the nearest 10 is actually 50. You see that it's 50. Alright, so let us look at rounding off decimals. Rounding off decimals. Now, if we are asked to correct this number to a whole number, then correct to 1 decimal place, and we're also to correct to 2 decimal places, and last one to correct to 3 decimal places. Now, when we are talking about a place in decimal, okay, this is a whole number. This particular one is a whole number. Don't forget that this is a decimal fraction, contains a whole number and decimals. Okay, right, so this is a whole number. Then what you see here is this particular one is the first decimal place. This is the second decimal place. This is the third, and this is the fourth. All right, so that is the points in the decimal. Now, if we're to correct this to a whole number, we have to correct this to a whole number. The whole number that we have, you know, this is 13 dot something. This is 13 dot something. So the whole number that we have that we can correct this one to is just 13. Why? Because we don't have, for example, if you have, if I say that this is the whole number that we have here. Okay. All right, and these are points. So if this is 7, if you convert this particular 7, this particular one, if you turn it to 1, okay, then it becomes 0. Then add to this one, that is 9. Okay, this also becomes 0, 0. Then add this one, this particular one, this becomes 5. Okay, then convert it to 1, this becomes 0. Then if you add this one, this becomes 4. All right, so this 4 cannot be anything but 0. So what you tend to have is 13.0000. So the nearest whole number you can convert this one to is 13. That's the nearest whole number that can be converted to. So now let us convert this to the nearest, to 1 decimal place. To 1 decimal place. And like I said before, this is the 1 decimal place. This is 13.3. This particular one is first decimal place. So you draw a line like this. Okay, so this 13.3. Then we'll look at it again, what I did the other time. All right, so we have this number that is behind this. Okay, so once you want to do that, just check this number that is behind this. This number here is 4. Okay, so this number 4, the number that is 4, and this 4 can only become 0. So don't need to look at all the other numbers. Just look at the number that is behind what you are doing directly. This 1 decimal place. This is the number that is behind. And this number can only be converted to 0. So once this is converted to 0, you can only have 13.3. That's 13.3. Okay, you've converted this to decimal one decimal place. Okay, that is how to convert that to one decimal place. Let us look at two decimal places. Let's convert to two decimal places. I have 13 point. Just quickly change this. Okay, so I have 13.3487. So let's convert to two decimal places. Let's convert to two decimal places. We can't say 1, okay, 2. That's the two decimal places, and I'm going to draw a line here. All right. Now, like I said, that whenever you are converting, then look at the only number that is here. Okay, this is the only number that is here. Okay, that's what we're going to check. So we have 13.34. This 8 is a number that is between 5 and 9. So this 8, I'm going to convert it to 1. Then I'm going to add to the next number, which is 4. So once I add that 1 to this, it's going to give me 13.35. So that is my conversion to two decimal places. Okay. Now let us look at conversion to three decimal places. 13.3487. Okay. Don't forget, I said this one decimal place, two decimal place, this three decimal place. So after this three decimal place, I'm going to draw my line here. Okay. I'm going to draw my line there, three decimal places. Okay. So now this particular number that is outside, okay, is also between 5 and 9. So I can convert this to 1. So I'm going to have 13.34. Once I convert this to 1 and add to this becomes 9. So 13.349. Then I've converted to what? 3 decimal places. Now, one thing that you need to take note in this our conversion is that immediately we have converted this to one decimal place, it's only one digit after the dot. Okay, for two decimal places, we only have two digits after the dot. Okay, for three decimal places, we only have three digits after the dot. So we have 13.349. That's on three decimal places. Let us look at other examples. All right, so let us do the same thing to this number 209.8993, and we're to convert to the nearest whole number. So let's go 209.8993. Okay, and we're to convert to the nearest whole number. The whole number here is just this. Whole number is before the point. Okay, so for us to convert it to the nearest whole number, I said we always look at we can look at the number that is outside here, and because this number is between 5 and 9. Okay, then we're going to convert this number to 1. Okay, so once we convert the number to 1 and add to this becomes 210, because you have add 1 to 9, it's going to be 10, so that's 210. Okay, all right, maybe dot 0. So for 210, it's just 210. All right, so this is the nearest whole number. Okay, this is the nearest whole number. Okay, let us look at converting to one decimal place, 8993. Okay, and don't forget this is the first decimal place. This is one decimal place. Then you draw your line here. Okay, now once that is done, we then look at the number that is outside, just the next digit that's outside. This particular one is also that 9. This 9 is between 5 and 9. Okay, so once we turn it to 1, we add to this. So this becomes 209. You add 1 to 8. You add 1 to 8. Okay, then becomes 209.9. Okay, so this is a 1 decimal place. Now let's convert to 2 decimal places. We have 209.8993. Okay, so our first decimal place, that's 1 decimal, this is 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place. Then we'll draw our line here, 2 decimal place. Okay, so now we look at this particular number that's outside the line that is drawn. Then we convert this. This is 5, this is between 5 and 9, so we convert it to 1. Once we add to this 89, this one becomes 90. Okay, so we have 209.90. So don't forget, this is 1. So if you add, this is 89 here. If you add this 1 here, just plus 1, it becomes 90. Okay, all right. So if it's for example, this is, if this is 86, if this one here is 86, okay, let's say we have 0.86, let's say 209, let's say 209, doesn't do something, no, okay, let me say, if we have let's say I have 209.86 and 93 here. Okay, so if I convert this one to 1, okay, and add to this particular one becomes 7, that is 87. It's the same thing as if I'm adding 86, this 86 here, this 86 here, as if I'm adding this 86 here, then plus 1, okay, give me 87. So it's the same thing. Okay, so that's why if I had this, if I had okay, if I have this one becomes 1, okay, and I add to this 89, it becomes 90. So that's, this one has been corrected to 2 decimal places. Now let's correct to 3 decimal places, 209.8993. Okay, for example, I said this is 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place, and this is 3 decimal place. Okay, then I draw my line here. Okay, now once I do that, look at that now. This number that is behind this place is not up to 5. It's not up to 5, so I convert this to 0. So what I have here is 209.899. Remain the same because I'm not adding any 1 to this. So that is a 3 decimal places. Okay, so that is how to round off decimals. Okay, I want you to like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and feel free to share with your friends and loved ones. Okay, so I will see you in other episode of this next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.